Okay, so we came all the way to Michelstadt. What are we here for? Who's this Shem of Michelstadt? What does he represent? What did he do? And why did we schlep the oilam specifically to this place? Small little shtetl, the Shem of Michelstadt. Why did we schlep the oilam here? What's the reason that we're here and what are we going to accomplish? So let's first understand, who's the Shem of Michelstadt? Rabbi Yitzchak Arya, Reb Zeka Leib Vomza, most famously known as the Shem of Michelstadt. Now it's interesting, the word and the name Shem means he used names Kabbalistically. It means he used the names of Hashem, names of Malachim. He lived in 19th century, born in 1768, died 1847. His father, Matisyo, his mother, Sorila, descended from the Marshal, from the Arizal, traced all the way back from Rashi. He lived in a totally different century than the Baal Shem from Mezhbej. Who was this Baal Shem of Michelstadt? A Yekka living in Germany, just outside of Frankfurt. We were just there. We traveled just about an hour to Michelstadt. A Kabbalist, a miracle worker. It's a fascinating idea. So the word Baal Shem was very often used, very common, for anyone that used names of Hashem, of Malachim, to heal people. People would come with all sorts of physical problems that they had, and he would heal them, almost like a doctor. It was like a kind of profession in those days. The Baal Shem of Michelstadt seems to be one of the last people that got the title Baal Shem. It's an amazing thing how he lived at a time in history where there were so many German Jews that were hardly religious. Many reformed, many converted. And it's an amazing thing in a little shtetl of Michelstadt, 20, 30 families that lived there, not more than that. Here lives this Kabbalist with his yeshiva, with his Talmidim, and amongst him all the secular people in the world. And here you've got this Yid that's healing people with using Hashem's name, using Malachim names. Now when he grew up, he went from Michelstadt, where he was born, to Frankfurt. And who's the Kabbalist over there that he learned from? Of course, Rabbi Nosson Adler. We were just there. Some say he learned at the same time some Sofer by Rabbi Nosson Adler. He married a girl from Frankfurt and eventually returned back over here to Michelstadt. Rabbi Zeka Leib was appointed rabbi of the town. And many people were opposed to his being the rabbi of the community because of his extreme views, his mysticism, his weird practices. Remember, this was post-Shabbatai Tzvi. People were very nervous and very weary of new mahalchim, of new things. He established a yeshiva. So he was the Rosh Yeshiva as well. His first wife passes away, and the second wife's name was Chana. And from a small town nearby, he practiced over there. Some say that the Chassam Sofer and the Chedush Harim, specifically, they recognize the koyach of the Baal Shem, used to send people to the Baal Shem. In his yeshiva back of here in Michelstadt, he taught Gemara, Halacha, Kabbalah, but also general studies like math and philosophy. About 70 Talmidim in the yeshiva at the time. In 1825, his house burned down, with most of his writings all burnt in there. Most of them were lost. He died in Som Gedalia, 1847. In 1910, there was a plaque placed by his house by the authorities, which was eventually removed by the Nazis, as was his tombstone. And in 1947, both were replaced by his descendants. So there's a tradition that in the year that Reb Zekel was born, Eliyahu Novi appeared at his father's home as a guest in the community. And he notified Reb Zekel's father that as a reward for the great cover that he gave to Torah in his town, he would have a child that would illuminate the Jewish world. At the young age of 5 years old, Zekel was already known as a wonder child. At the age of 13, he begged that his parents would allow him to go learn in a yeshiva, but the finances just didn't allow it to happen. At the age of 16, Reb Zeka left home to learn in Frankfurt under the Hafla of Pinchas Horowitz, and then eventually Reb Nosson Adler. And the Talmidim of Reb Nosson Adler accepted upon themselves a very interesting type of lifestyle, bearing on just the minimum, many times fasting, learning Kabbalah at different times. In 1787, He moved back to Michelstadt, where he took a room in his parents' home, and he just sat and learned Yomim V'Loila. At the age of 30, he took upon himself to just rely on the minimum of food. His meals consisted of a little bit of soup, black coffee, and occasionally some vegetables. These chumras applied also to Shabbos, when he would sometimes have a slice of fish. His son writes, or Michal Wormser writes, that at the age of 18, his father was makabel. He took a kabbalah, took a vow, never to partake of anything that living creature in the world, and everything comes from there. He ate no meat, no chicken, no fish, eggs, butter, milk, and he did so because of Kabbalistic reasons. It's brought down that the Goyim used to come over here, and used to come to the cave of the Baal Shem before they went into the army during the time of World War I. And it was known that anyone that davened over here and that went down to the war came back safely from the Muhammad, came back from the war. One incredible Maisa, that his wonder, his amazing reputation reached the ears of the Duke of Michelstadt, who asked his father to send him alone, no guide, no one else, to the Duke's palace. He wanted to see if the Baal Shem had the ability to find the Duke without telling him where it was. It was a gigantic palace, huge place, hundreds of rooms, hundreds of windows. And there he asked the young child, as a young boy, asked the Baal Shem, please find me. And eventually the Baal Shem came. Within a few minutes he found the Duke in the room. And the Jew said, I don't understand, how did you find me? How did you know where I was? It's a huge palace, hundreds of rooms. How did you find me over here? And the Baal Shem said, very simple. He said, I looked up at all the windows. I looked all of the windows of the palace's rooms, and I saw that every single one, the curtains were open, except for one. One I saw was closed. And I understood that you must be hidden there. If it's closed, it means that's where you are. Zog the Baal Shem of Michelstadt, Rabbi say, open up your hearts. Says the Baal Shem of Michelstadt, so many times in our life, it looks like it's closed. The windows are closed, the curtains are closed, the shades are closed. We don't see the Rabbeinu Shalom. We don't see Hashem in our lives. We don't see Hashem of so many things that we go through. But yet the Baal Shem was megala to us that it's precisely the window where the shades are closed. That's where you find what you're looking for. If you look, that's where you're going to find it. And it's precisely when it's dark and it's difficult and it's raining and it's cold and it's mystical and we don't understand it. And so many times in life we don't understand it. But yet, that sometimes is the greatest Yeshua. Rabbi Sai, here we are in a Mokoim, Kodosh Ad Ma'oid, a Mokoim where there were so many Yeshuas for Klal Yisrael that happened in this very place. Reb Shimon Galai Shlita said that out of all the kvarim that he goes to around the world, he has never seen Yeshuas happen like he sees right over here by the Baal Shem of Michelstadt. Rabbi said we're in a Mokoim where people have been helped, people that came that they were sick, that they got a refuah shalema, people that came that had problems with parnasa and they got helped, people that came they needed shidduchim, they got helped. People needed children. People needed good children. People needed Yeshuas and all different things. This Mokoim that we're standing is a Mokoim that so many people for centuries have been able to find their Yeshua. Where it's dark, where it's difficult, we open up our eyes and we see that the Rabbeinu Shalom is there. This is the Mokoim that we can get a Yeshua. Klal Yisrael is going through right now an Eist Tzara Mamish. You look what's going on in Eretz Yisrael. How many people are still captives? The hostages. That Be'ez Hashem, they should come out healthy and well. How many people are dying? Every day you see again and again in the news, another soldier, another one and another one. From, not from, who cares? It's irrelevant. They're Yidden, they're children of the Rabbeinu Shalom. Klal Yisrael is going through such an Eist Tzara. People are struggling to find that connection with Hashem, that deep relationship with the Rabbeinu Shalom. It's the whole purpose that we're here, is to be able to do that. It's so difficult for us. Rabbi say, here we are. Let's be mispadal. Let's open up the Sharei Shamayim. Let's beg the Rabbeinu Shalom. We need Mashiach, we need the Yeshuas, we need the Geula. It's enough. It's enough. Tzaras, Klal Yisrael have been through so many tzaras. How much more can we cope with? Everyone, Kol Echad Lefi Madrigosai. Everybody knows people that are suffering, that did suffer, that are suffering. It's enough, Rabbeinu Shalom, enough with the suffering, enough. We need the Geula, we need the Mashiach, we need Yeshuas, we need brachas. There's so much that Klal Yisrael are looking for. This is a makom, Admas Kodesh, this is a holy place. This is a place where so many Yidden have been helped. Close your eyes, beg the Rabbeinu Shalom for whatever it is that you need, for whatever it is that your family needs, whatever Klal Yisrael needs. Think about the Klal, think about the Tzibur, and Memela the Rabbeinu Shalom helps you. We should open up Shari Shamayim. We beg the Rabbeinu Shalom, Shari Shamayim Psach. Open up the Shamayim, open up the gates. So often we feel that they're closed, we're just not getting in. We're davening, we're trying, we're learning, we're doing mitzvahs, we're doing chesed, but it's so difficult to really make that connection. And we try, we want it, everyone wants it, but it's so hard to make it. Right now, Rabbi Sai, we can makabel all malchus shamayim together. We can all try to daven for what's going on in Klal Yisrael, that there should be, the hostages should come back safely. There should be no more mulchama. That all of Klal Yisrael that need brachas should get brachas and shidduchim and children and parnasa and health and everything that everyone needs. This is the makom Rabbi Sai that we should daven. Shari Shamayim Psach. Let's daven Rabbi Sai. This is the time we can open up our hearts, open up our minds to Rabbeinu Shalom, and daven for ourselves, daven for our mishpachas, and daven for all of Klal Yisrael and Be'ezah Shem. The Rabbeinu Shalom sees our ratzon. He sees that all that we want is kiras elikim. We just want a connection with the Melech Malchei Amlochim, with the Boya Olam. We just want it. It's difficult, it's hard, it's dark. Bezug the Shem of Michelstadt, exactly where it's dark, where the curtains are closed, that's where you see the Hashem. That's where the Yeshua comes from. Right now, it's cold, it's raining. Let's beg the Rabbeinu Shalom. Please, we need Yeshuas, we need brachas, and Be'ez Hashem, all our tefillahs will be miskabel, b'toivo. Shara